Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. In this video, I want to show you how to crochet this beautiful and very simple puff stitch hat. This hat is a top-down hat and I made that for baby size 6 to 12 months, and you can make it for each size you want. I made that with a worsted weight yarn and 5mm hook. If you're ready, let's get started. Start the work with a slip knot and then make 3 chains, 1, 2, and 3, and insert the hook into first chain and make a slip stitch to form a ring. Now I want to make 1 puff stitch into this ring, so pull the yarn on the loop and yarn over, insert the hook into the ring, yarn over, pull up a loop. One more time, yarn over, insert the hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, and one more time, yarn over, insert the hook, pull up a loop. Now, I have 7 loops on the hook, yarn over and pull through all of them and then make a chain. This is the first puff stitch. Again, yarn over, insert the hook into the ring, yarn over, pull up a loop, and repeat that work 2 more times. 1 and 2. Now I have 7 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through all loops and make a chain. This is the second puff stitch, and now you have to repeat this work and make next puff stitches into the ring till the number of puff stitches become 6. This is the third puff stitch that I made, and repeat that work 3 more times. Now I have 6 puff stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in first round, and I want to join into this loop before the first puff stitch. So make a slip stitch and the first round is finished. Pull the loop on the hook and start the next round from here. Yarn over, insert the hook and yarn over, pull up a loop, and repeat that work 2 more times. And make a complete puff stitch with a chain, and again make another puff stitch into same space, and after that make a chain. Then go to next space after the first puff stitch of a previous round and make 2 puff stitches here again. This is the first, make a chain and make another puff stitch into same space, 1, 2, and 3 times, and then make a chain. I made 2 puff stitch into this chain 1 space, and after that go to next chain 1 space and again make 2 puff stitches. We have to make 2 puff stitches into each chain 1 space after each puff stitch of previous round, and continue this work until the end. This is the second puff stitch into this space, yarn over, pull through all loops and make a chain. I made 2 puff stitch into these 3 spaces, 1, 2, and 3, and repeat that work for next 3 spaces until the end of the round. Okay, now I have 12 puff stitches, and again insert the hook here under these 2 loops before the first puff stitch of previous round and make a slip stitch and start next round from here. Pull the loop and make 1 puff stitch into this space before the first puff stitch and then make a chain. Then go to next chain 1 space between these 2 puff stitches and make 2 puff stitch here. Actually, I make 1 increase puff stitch at top of increase puff stitch of previous round. Okay, this is the second puff stitch into same space and then make a chain. Now go to next space here between these 2 groups of 2 puff stitches and make 1 puff stitch. Make a chain and again make 2 puff stitch into next space between next 2 puff stitches, and again make 1 increase puff stitch at top of the increase puff stitch of previous round. And repeat that work. Make 1 puff stitch into next space between 2 increase stitches of previous round. Make a chain and make 2 puff stitches into next space between these 2 puff stitches of previous round, and make 1 increase puff stitch at top of the increase puff stitch of previous round, and repeat that work. Make 1 puff stitch here, 2 puff stitch here, 1 here, 2 here, 1 here, and 2 here, and continue until the end. Now round 3 is finished and I have 18 puff stitches, and insert hook under these 2 loops before the first puff stitch and make a slip stitch, and start round 4 from here, this space before the first puff stitch, and make 1 puff stitch into this space, make a chain, go to next space after the first puff stitch, and again make 1 puff stitch here, make a chain, and then make 2 puff stitch here between these 2 puff stitches, and again make 1 increased puff stitch at top of the increased puff stitch of previous round. Actually we have 2 puff stitch and after that 1 increase stitch. Again make 1 puff stitch into each of next 2 spaces, 1, make a chain, and 1 puff stitch into next space, and then make 2 puff stitch here into next space between these 2 puff stitch of previous round, 1 and 2. And this is next increase at top of the increase of previous round. And then we have to repeat this part, 1 puff stitch into each of next 2 spaces and 2 puff stitch into next space. Okay, now I have 24 puff stitches at the end, and insert hook under these 2 loops before the first puff and make a slip stitch. Now I want to measure the diameter of this circle just made. This is approximately 5 inches, and it's enough for a baby size, this size that I want to make. You have to continue this work and make 1 puff stitch into each of the first 3 spaces and make 2 puff stitch here into this space, and repeat that work until the end. And for next round make 1 puff stitch into each of first 4 spaces and then make 1 increase into next space, and repeat that work until the end, and continue this work until the diameter of this circle reach the desired size. And after that you have to stop increasing and start the body of the hat. So I want to start the body without increasing, so make 1 puff stitch into each space all around, and when we reach the desired size for the diameter of this circle just made, we don't increase anymore, and we have to make 1 puff stitch into each space. Okay, I make 3 puff stitches, and now I want to make 1 puff stitch here into this space at top of the increase of previous round, and I don't increase anymore. And repeat that work and make 1 puff stitch only into each space, and don't increase anymore, because we have to make the body of the hat from here, from this round. So when you reach the desired diameter for your circle, for your desired size, you have to make 1 puff stitch only into each space until the end. Now at the end of round 5, I have 24 puff stitches again, such as previous round. And now make a slip stitch under these 2 loops before the first puff stitch, and again repeat previous round. Again make 1 puff stitch into each space all around, and don't increase anymore, as I mentioned before, and continue this work and make 1 puff stitch and repeat that round several times until the height of the hat reach the desired size. Okay, I made that round 7 times, and now the height of my hat from the top of the hat has reached 6 inches, and this height should be 7.5 inches for this size, baby size. But because I want to make the brim of the hat, I have to start the brim from here and don't make puff stitches anymore, and make 1 chain and 1 half double crochet into same space, and then make 1 half double crochet at top of next stitch, that's 1 puff stitch, and then go to next space here and make 1 half double crochet again, and 1 half double crochet at top of next puff stitch. Actually, we have to make 1 half double crochet into each space and each stitch of previous round, and repeat that work until the end of the round. Now the first round of the brim is finished, and I want to join to first half double crochet with a slip stitch and start next row with a chain, and I want to make 1 front post half double crochet. So yarn over, insert the hook from front to back to front around the first half double and make 1 half double crochet. Then go around next stitch from back to front to back and make 1 back post half double crochet, and repeat that. Yarn over, insert the hook from front to back to front around next half double crochet and make 1 front post, and yarn over, insert the hook from back to front to back again around the next stitch and make 1 back post half double crochet. And we have to continue this sequence and make 1 front post half double crochet and 1 back post half double crochet, and repeat that until the end of the round. Now at the end of the second round of the brim, make a slip stitch into first half double crochet and then repeat the second round again. Make 1 chain and 1 half double crochet front post around the first stitch, that's a half double crochet front post again, and make 1 back post half double crochet around the next stitch, that was a back post half double crochet. We have to make 1 front post around each front post and 1 back post around each back post, and repeat that work and continue this work and repeat this round of front posts and back posts several times until the height of the brim reach the desired size. Okay, now I have 1.5 inches for the brim and 6 inches for the body, and I have reached 7.5 inches totally, and it's 19 centimeters. You have to continue the brim to reach the desired size for your hat, for the height of your hat, and then fasten off and cut the yarn And after that, you have to hide this yarn through these stitches. And again cut the yarn, and now my hat is ready. You can add a pom-pom at top of that if you want, and use that. I hope this video will be useful for you. If you like that, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel, like the video, and leave a comment. Have a nice day.